Hello, friends. How the hell are you doing? Well, I'm back for another one of my honest hero reviews. And I'd just like to start this by saying that my reviews are going to vary from other reviews. This is me actually using the hero, having the hero leveled up, putting them in different situations on offense and using them on defense. And it's just my opinion. My opinion is going to vary because my troop levels are not great. I've got level 23 troops. So, if you have higher level troops, the mana or whatnot, then you're going to have a different experience. But let's go ahead and get underway here. We're going to do Milady de Winter today. And I always like to start off with the character art. Yeah, elegance. She's elegant, isn't she? Yeah, she's a cutie, all right. She's got them blue eyes to match the blue dress. There we go. But yeah, let's just go over this step by step. Wizard class, and this really is beneficial to her character as well. I'm surprised they allowed that, but 25% chance to deal 15% extra damage per each active buff the enemies have. The extra damage applies to both normal attacks and special skills. And that just kind of goes into her special because she reflects stuff. Uh, so it's not no biggie, but it helps. Musketeer family bonus. Of course, bonus for 1, 2, 3 heroes. 50, 75, 100% chance to give cover to a random ally for 3 turns when this character casts their special skills, which I currently have 2 musketeers. I've got the purple guy and then I got her. While on cover, the ally takes no damage from their special skills or attacks or blah blah blah. We all know what this does. This effect can't be dispelled, but ends when the character is defeated. Okay. Passive. When this character receives damage from special skills or in place of a character in cover, there's a 60% chance to deal 20% of the received damage to all enemies. Nice little passive. Nothing game breaking, of course. Masterful manipulation. Slow. That's the big drawback is slow. And I know everybody was probably waiting for that. But as I mentioned, I have level 23 mana troops. I mean, they're not the worst, but by far they're not the best. So uh, when using her in defense situations, you want to kind of have a team synergy that allows mana regen or mana boost, either one, just to speed her up. Now, I can't speak on level 30 troops or 29 because, of course, I don't have them. So she's probably a lot faster. But at 23, she's just slow as a turtle. But, it is what it is. But let's get on into this masterful manipulation. Deals 385 damage to all enemies. That's a wowzer. It doesn't seem like much, but at 1,016 attack, 385% damage to all enemies is just a massive chunk. We're talking about close to a little over 40% of their freaking health is gone when she goes off. I'm gonna say it's a good chunk like that. It's deserving though with being a slow hero. Most slow damage dealers they take at least 40% of your health majority of the time. If they don't, then you don't need them. Well, that's an unfair statement because they may be better in other areas. But as far as a damage dealer goes, the caster regenerates 918 hit points over 6 turns. That's great. 6 turns. That's 100 what 100 something, 140, 150, something like that. I don't know. You're a mathematician, not me. I'm just joking. It's not really that great, I don't think, for 6 turns, but it helps, because she is slow, especially on defense if you throw her on defense because she's going to take a lot of damage. But to be honest, we'll go over the defensive aspect here in a moment. All enemies reflect status effect buffs to a random character on the opposing team for 6 turns, which that's great when you use her on offense because when the defense, as long as she's gone off, during that period for 6 turns, if the defense you're facing, if they throw any buffs up there or anything, they're going to be reflected back to your heroes uh, for 6 turns. It's kind of niche, to be honest with you. And then the last part of it, all allies reflect status ailments to a random character on the opposing team for 6 turns. So while that's up, you know, uh, if the defense or the offense or whatever casts defensive down on your team, it's going to reflect back to the other team. And it's going to be random on who it reflects to. But yeah, it sounds confusing, but it's really not. But so here comes my thoughts on this character. So I'm gonna start by saying I enjoy using this character in events like the Monster Island, uh, just fighting regular maps, stages. I love hit alls because when she goes off, she pretty much does a wipe on that whole stage, and which is grateful. On offensive, on today's meta, it is so tricky. And having a slow hero on offense, you really got to be able to boost that mana up. Get it to regen and then boost it and just get it going. For her to go off. You kind of got to play around a slow hero a lot of times. At least in my opinion. Everybody's got different opinions. So when you build your offense, and you throw a slow hero in there, you tend to have to cater to that hero because you're putting them in there for a specific reason, like her for damage dealing, and so you want to cater the board to trying to get blues because if not, she's just going to sit there. It's not going to be of any use at all. Now, there is some situations, such on defense and offense, where you could do something like this, and this really doesn't work on defense because I lose my ass off. Maybe it's the formation. I don't know. I don't care. But you got your Ludwig, which if I limit broke 2 Ludwig and he started off with a taunt, that would be more beneficial to the whole team. But you kind of want, the lady next to a Ludwig. That way, if he does go off, she's going to receive the benefits of that mana. And then I've got like knee in here. Knee throws up some mana. There's other options you could use. I could throw a Hawthorne in there. There's a few things, but she's just slow. She's not going to be a consistent defensive hero like a Hathor or something like that. And I mean, that's apples and oranges. They're two different types of characters, but I'm saying right now everything's geared towards fast, and even average is kind of slow right now, unless you got a great team composition on defense. And a lot of what I'm seeing, what I'm going against, is that double limit broke Ludwig or a taunter that's, kind of holding the fort down until everybody builds up their specials. That's the trend right now, and I don't. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't feel like Lady is a threat when she's on defense, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Like I said, it can happen. It just depends if you get some crappy boards and you're just. It depends on what level of play you're at. I'm not saying I'm at like end game because my troop level sucks so much, but as far as heroes go, I can deal with a lot of defenses I come across as long as I get a decent board, in which most people can. The newer players will struggle, but the brackets that they're in, what's the odds you're going to find a limit broke Milady starting out? Because whoever's got that character is going to be bumped up the bracket a little higher. So overall, I think she's a great hero. I just hate to miss something when I'm going over her. Because, I mean, Rush War. Yes, of course. Rush War, that's what she's a major threat at. Just like with any slow hero, that's specifically why they have Rush War. That's why everybody complains about Rush, is because you got two different purple tanks for the most part, and the rest of the heroes are just beat you down because if you don't get a good board, they go off and you're dead. So I mean, in a Rush War, you can put some older slow heroes in there, and if you don't get a good board, you're going to get owned. So hero heroes are relevant, but they're not as relevant in Rush War. Rush War depends on boards, being able to get your matches, and you being able to deal with the defense, silencing whatever, shutting them down. Tiles is your enemies there. It's not the heroes. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Is she someone that you should jump out there and just grab? I don't think so. I mean, I ended up getting her. I think I got her pretty fast. It wasn't even much effort. It was a lucky ordeal. So I was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and level her up. I had the stuff, the limit breaker. So I did that. Does she sit on a shelf and collect dust? No, I like playing with her. I use her. It's niche. Like I said, she's not a bad hero. It's just I tend to like heroes that I can put on offense and defense. And right now, the way the meta is, with everything sped up, and it's getting better with the double limit break stuff, because more and more, the more and more double limit break heroes you get, then you're going to start being able to incorporate more slow heroes, and you're going to see that because the heroes are not dying as fast. So the meta is shifting, and as of right now, whenever you get a team where there's 5 double limit break, and you're going to start seeing more and more slow heroes. You're already seeing Ludwig in there with his taunt. I've seen Lubu's. I've seen several slow double limit broke. So this really isn't a true review until I double limit breaker. And what does she get? Defense up. That's even more grand. So yeah, it's kind of bad that I wanted to do this little hero review, but until I get these double limit broke now, I really can't give the true ultimate review. So that kind of sucks. But if she was double limit broke, and you've got her on a team of just double limit broke people, that's a totally different scenario on defense and stuff like that with a lot of these heroes, and we're going to find that. And we're looking at a long game of 8 months to a year. It's not even going to be that long. You're going to see people hurry up having a full double limit broke team, but in 8 months to a year, that's whenever we're really going to get the real effects of all these heroes and the compositions. It might not even be that long. It might be, but time flies so much on the game because the game is so slow. Unless you just spin. So I don't know. You guys, let me know. What do you think about the lady? She's a cutie. No doubt about it. But with that said, I thank you for stopping by the video, and I hope I didn't overlook anything. And if I did, let me know.